L.A. Noire is a neo-noir detective game released in 2011. It was developed by Team Bondi and published by Rockstar Games. People were excited for the game to release. The game is set in 1947 Los Angeles. You play as Cole Phelps, who was a former Marine officer who joined the L.A.P.D. In the game, you play through Cole's journey, leveling up from the departments of the L.A.P.D. From there, a journey of suspense, thrill, tension, trust, and betrayal starts. The game used a custom engine for the motion and facial capture. The game was the first to use motion scan, developed by Team Bondi's sister company Depth Analysis. Motion scan was used on actors surrounding by 32 cameras to capture facial expressions from every angle. The facial expressions in the game look very good. You can notice every strain on an actor's face. This was used in the game's interrogation scenes to check whether the suspect is telling the truth or lying. The game's development and marketing budget is estimated to be more than $50 million, making it one of the most expensive games ever made. In the story of the game, you play as Cole Phelps, a former Marine officer and war hero joining L.A.P.D. From there, you level up from the many desks in the L.A.P.D. In each desk, you have a different partner. Some partners you may like, some partners you may hate. Some partners are nice, some partners are rude. You have to adjust working with them. There are 5 desks in the game: Patrol Desk, Traffic Desk, Arson Desk, Homicide Desk, Vice Desk. You start by joining the Patrol Desk, working mostly as a backup of the Homicide and Vice detectives. In Patrol Desk, you do some investigation before the detectives arrive on the scene. You also act as a backup in tense action scenes. In the Traffic Desk, you deal with mostly cases of Grand Theft Auto, but as you continue to investigate those cases, the stories of those cases get more deep and personal. In the Arson Desk, you deal with mostly fire-related cases. Your partner, Herschel Biggs, in the Arson Desk, says that fire-related cases are really hard to solve. He says that there are no ropes to learn in arson. The Homicide Desk is in which you investigate several murders. In this desk, the cases get more depressing. You are the only good case worker in the Homicide Desk. You start to make some strict changes in the investigation techniques, debating your Homicide Desk partner Rusty Galloway's investigation techniques, which are really poor. In the Vice Desk, you investigate cases of drug-related murders, drug trafficking, corruption by high officials, etc. In the Vice Desk, you get to see the dark side of 1947 Hollywood. Your partner in Vice Desk, Roy Earl, believes that everyone has an evil side. Everyone has a license to enjoy the evil side, but it has to be kept manageable. Roy isn't exactly a good cop. He considers improving his image more than solving a case. Cole disagrees to him. Roy walks to him and looks him in the eye and says, "See it any other way and you better forget about being a wise cop." The story of the game is really well written. While watching the story unfold, you notice that the writers of the story really know how to write a noir detective story. You notice so much attention to detail in cases, in the evidence of the cases like letters, envelopes, ledgers, phone numbers, diaries, etc. The main criticism towards the game is about the ending. I think it's not that bad. It's okay. I do not think about any other way they could have done it. The ending manages to tie the plot threads well. The end credits scene is one of the best examples of how to end a story and explain a backstory. People say that Cole deserved to die because he was so cold in arresting people that he didn't look back while arresting them. I disagree. L.A.P.D. needed a cop like Cole Phelps. If Cole wasn't there, the criminals would have run away scot-free. The gameplay of L.A. Noire is a bit unsatisfactory. Bare bones is the word I can describe the gameplay by. The gameplay includes driving, shooting, investigation, stealth, foot chases, puzzles, fist fighting, and interrogation. The driving in the game is okay. The game tries to replicate the handling of old cars. Nothing wrong in that. But the way the driving sequences are executed is quite bad. First off, the driving sequences are mostly scripted. That takes the fun out of it during the driving sequence. Due to the driving sequences being scripted, you can make an enemy car crash only where the game wants you to. Before that, even if you try to ram into an enemy car and make it crash, the enemy car doesn't get a single scratch. It doesn't even budge off the road. The driving stages being scripted makes them really bad. The shooting sequences are fun. The game throws you into big shooting areas like factories, throws many enemies at you. It's quite fun. You have a cover shooting system which comes in handy. The auto aim feature should be turned off. What's the fun in auto aim? The bad part of the shooting stages is that there is no shooting system. You can only have 2 guns. That would have been more fun, but considering that the game has a realistic approach, it's excusable. The variety of guns in the game is good, consisting of pistols, revolvers, shotguns, rifles, etc. The AI in the shooting stages is okay. The AI is kinda dumb. They stand in front of or near gas cylinders, but the difficulty during the shooting stages is okay. I watched many people getting game over screens during the shooting stages. The investigation sequences in the game are really bare bones. It is said that it is inspired by point-and-click games, but that does not seem the case. Point-and-click games are difficult. The clues are really well hidden in those games. You have to investigate every nook and cranny in a point-and-click game. But in L.A.P.D, all you have to do is walk around and wait for the little clue jingle to make a sound. When you hear that sound, it indicates that there is a clue there. Why? Why did they include that feature? The game would have been more good if it did not have the clue sound. It would have made the clue finding a bit difficult and interesting. The game really didn't need the clue sound. The detective part here is really bare bones. The interrogation stages are good. You have to see whether the suspect is lying or telling the truth based on their facial expressions. During interrogation, you have 3 options: truth, doubt, and lie, or in the remastered version, good cop, bad cop, and accuse. When you feel like the suspect is telling the truth, you select the truth or good cop option. When you feel like the suspect is lying and you don't have any evidence, you select the doubt or bad cop option. When you feel like the suspect is lying and you have evidence, you select the lie or accuse option. The options in the original version of the game, that is, truth, doubt, or lie, seemed good. I don't get the reason of changing them to good cop, bad cop, or accuse. Sure, truth, doubt, and lie felt a bit awkward, and Cole would start yelling when you press doubt, but it only happened sometimes. During the interrogation, the main challenge was between pressing doubt when you don't have evidence or lie. Because when you want to press lie, you start to think whether the evidence is correct or not. If you press the wrong option or select the wrong button, you lose a point. The way these options were labeled increased the difficulty of the interrogations a little bit. There was no reason to change the options to good cop, bad cop, or accuse. It makes the interrogations way simpler. The titling of these options make it way simpler. Also, changing truth, doubt, and lie to good cop, bad cop, and accuse kill this meme. And in Noire, it doesn't even work like that. A cop doesn't become a good cop and a bad cop in a jiffy. Otherwise, the interrogation stages are good. The only criticism about the interrogation stages is that the actors who act as suspects do a really bad job at acting. To indicate that they are lying, they make really over-the-top facial expressions. Then you say, of course he's lying. Look at him. The good way to make the actors act would have been to make small facial twitches, which could be hard to notice for the eye. That could have increased the difficulty and would have made the interrogation stages more interesting. The stealth stages are really bad and easy. In these stages, you have to either follow a person by foot or in a car. During stealth stages, the AI is really dumb. You just have to take cover somewhere. During stealth by car, you just have to stop when the suspect car stops or you get too close. In the car stealth stages, you can drive like a lunatic and the suspect car won't even notice. Even though these stages are bad, the variety of gameplay can be appreciated. The puzzles in the game are less, but the puzzles are challenging, especially the puzzles in the Arson Desk. The food chasing stages are really bad. All you have to do is press the forward button and Cole will do the jumping and sliding and climbing for you. It would have been so better if there was a separate jump button. There aren't even any obstacles during chases by foot. Adding obstacles with having control to jump and climb would have been made the foot chasing stages more interesting. The fighting or fist fighting stages are fun, but they are almost basic. Almost. You can punch the enemy, dodge the punches, grapple and throw your enemy, or grapple and or headbutt the enemy on the head. You can't kick. Also, when the fighting stage starts, Cole and the enemies get into boxing stance. It does not work like that in real life. In the traffic desk, the captain says that if you will succeed, you will get more cases, and if you will fail, you will be reduced to running license plates. That would have been such a cool gameplay mechanic. In the game, there would have been such a good potential of alternate paths and alternate endings, but it's not there. L.A.P.D is really afraid that you might fail. During investigation, it holds your hand by making a clue sound to indicate that a clue is there. It does not want you to get stuck. Even if you fail a case, the game moves on. You can be the worst detective ever, and still the game allows you to progress. It does not give a game over screen when you fail a case, even if you get 0 questions in the interrogation stage correct, and drive like a madman making property damage and run over people. The game will let you progress. Sometimes even the captain of the department will say good job, even if you caused a lot of damage. L.A.P.D also gives you an option to skip the action stages. If it's too hard for you, that's really bad. I've seen people skip the entire last action stage of the game, which was very important for the game's story. I appreciate the game when I fail in the game. You got me, game. You're really smart, I will say. But in L.A.P.D there are very less chances where you can fail. Even due to these flaws, L.A.P.D is still fun to play. The story is great. The gameplay is mostly fun. The investigation stages are okay. The interrogation stages are interesting. And the best part is that L.A.P.D is really addicting. The way the story progresses and the way you rise up from the many ranks of the L.A.P.D and the way the cases and the desks are arranged make L.A.P.D really addicting. Candy Crush, Flappy Bird, Clash of Clans have got nothing on L.A.P.D. L.A.P.D is like, hold my beer. I can pick up this game and finish it every month. When you play the game, you don't even realize that you have been playing it for many hours. I'm really happy that this game did not get cancelled. It feels good that we have got this game because it felt like a game that was likely to get cancelled. I still love L.A.P.D. A quick look at the desk in L.A.P.D. Even though the traffic desk is the beginning desk, it might be the most challenging desk here, especially the slip of the tongue case. The Homicide Desk, although interesting, starts to lack a clear motive behind the murders. The Vice Desk is both interesting in gameplay-wise and story-wise. Same for the Arson Desk, so all the desks are interesting to play. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Also, what do you feel about L.A.P.D? Tell me in the comments. I'm Pat and I'll see you next time. Until then, I've got many cases to solve.